What's going on, everyone? It's Angus of Boss Fitness coming at you with a recipe video today, being one of my personal favorites at the moment while being in the cutting phase, and that is my raw cookie dough peanut butter cups, or I guess what you'd call the mother of all raw cookie dough peanut butter cups, inspired by good old Reese's itself. These guys know how it's done, but if you're in a cutting phase, obviously it's pretty hard to eat a decent amount of these lovely beauties. What I'm going to be sharing with you is one where this entire actual peanut butter cup is about 1200, so and it's packing a lot of protein and a truckload of fiber. So if you're eating about a quarter of it, which is what a serve is, you'll be packing at about the 300 or so calorie mark. So I'm going to take you through how to make this from start to finish. It's fairly easy. We're using a few good old classics and a nice little secret ingredient that you might not have picked, which is what forms the bulk or the base of this mother of all peanut butter cups itself. Okay, so let's get into it. I'll show you what we're going to be using. So first up, what we're going to be using is going to be making our base layer, okay? And this one here compromises the use of butter beans. You can sub this for, I've also tried it with roasted pumpkin. I've also tried making it with chickpeas, but you're going to be using a whole tin. You're going to drain it, okay? And you're going to transfer it into a blender, or a NutriBullet in this case. And what you'll be then bumping in is a scoop of whey protein powder. And you'll actually be using 50 mils of almond milk also, along with a little bit of water. So you're going to blitz this up, and what I'm going to do is on the count of 3, I'll click my fingers and we'll see this nice and blitzed up in the consistency that we want. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So we've got our mixture all blitzed up. It's ever so slightly runny. You'll see kind of like a cake batter almost. And what I also did was I actually added a teeny bit of water to get it to that consistency also. I also added a little bit of stevia. I forgot to mention before, this is what's going to make our base nice and sweet. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer that into a cake pan or a baking pan, whatever you've got, lined with some Glad wrap. So I'll pull out mine that I prepared earlier. And here we have my one that I prepared earlier. So you'll see it's a nice normal cake pan. I've got some Glad wrap that I've lined it with. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to pour the mixture in, nice and easy. We want it to cover obviously most of the bottom. There we go. Lovely. Now what I'm going to do, mixture tastes on point, is I'm just going to level this out just a teeny bit so that we fill up all the way to the edges. There we go. Nice and level, or relatively level. Should be right. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bomb this in the freezer, okay, ideally for about an hour, and that way it's going to make this base nice and solid, and then we'll be ready to make our caramel, so the peanut butter actual layer next. Okay, so I'm going to bomb this in the freezer, and I'll see you in the next part where we're going to be making our next layer. Rightio, so while our base is chilling like a boss over there in the freezer, it's time to make our filling. So this is our peanut butter caramel. So what I'm going to be using for this, I'll just show you. So I've got myself set up. I've got the gas set up on really low heat, and I've got 190 grams of semi-sweetened condensed milk. So this is what it looks like here. This is the stuff that I used. It's got a heck of a lot less calories than normal condensed milk, and in my opinion tastes pretty much almost exactly the same. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heating it over low heat and stirring it an absolute shitload so that it gets to that caramel consistency. Then once we've got it ready like that, we'll be adding in some PB2, and this is what's going to give us that nice peanut butter texture. So we're going to park the camera over here so that way you can see me rocking away, and we will smash it out. Guys, hope you're enjoying the video so far. So as you can see here, when it comes to actually making the caramel, it's all about that continuous stirring actions. In other words, you basically do not want to stop. I'd suggest making sure that you've got a really nice solid non-stick pan that you're using, and that way it means that the mixture isn't going to stick to the bottom. And then also making sure that when you're stirring it, you're using a nice solid figure 8 sort of motion. Alright. And the idea of this is that obviously really in the scheme of things you could easily just pour a tin of condensed milk into the on top of the base and then Bob's your uncle, but we really want to give this a nice sort of caramel-like consistency. And even another alternative, you could easily just buy one of those tins of caramel, but that's going to have higher calories. The idea here is that we can maximize a low calorie alternative, and obviously making it taste like peanut butter caramel as best we can. Enjoy. And here we have our peanut butter caramel filling. So this is the consistency that you want. You would have seen me there stirring it basically consistently, and then we added in our 2 tablespoons of PB2. So now what we'll do is we'll pour this all over our base and try and get it nice and even as the caramel peanut butter layer. So you can see I'm having lots of fun with trying to spread over this caramel onto the base. So the idea here is that we're not aiming for perfection, it's just about getting it nice and decently level, and obviously with all these little bips and bobs, it means that we've got some character. Rightio, so there we have our caramel layer. Not the easiest thing in the world to spread, but hey, it'll do the job. As you can see, the idea is just to try and spread it out as evenly as you can. And then what we'll be doing is banging this back in the freezer so that this layer gets nice and set. And then last but not least to do is just to smash out our chocolate layer. Rightio guys, so while everything's still sitting away in the freezer, we're going to be making our top layer. So what I'm using here is 70 grams of Cadbury melts. The idea of this is that you can just heat it up in the microwave and then Bob's your uncle. So I'm going to be heating these up for a few rounds at 20 seconds, stirring in between. And when I click my fingers on 3, we should have some kick-ass melted chocolate. 1, 2, 3. Here we go, our lovely microwave chocolate. So this work's an absolute treat. I think I did it for, it was 4 sets of 20 seconds all up. And this is what we're left with. So what we're going to do now is obviously try and aim to spread that out all across our lovely base. So what I'm going to do is set up camp, and you guys can watch me pour it all over and follow along. Oh, look at this lovely chocolate. How good is that? So guys, you can see here the reason why we're using melts is so that it's really nice and easy to just be able to bomb it straight in the microwave a few times. As I said before, 4 sets of 20 seconds. For me, was able to get this perfect rather than setting up a double boiler. And here we have nice and easy chocolate. So drizzle it over, make it yours, make it look pretty, and you should have yourself a winner. Rightio guys, so here we have the chocolate all nicely drizzled over. As you can see, it's looking all nice and messy, just how I like it. And the idea of this is that we don't have to use a truckload of chocolate and therefore bump the calories up sky high. Gives it more of an aesthetic look, I reckon. It's time to bomb this in the freezer, and then we'll get stuck into chopping it, serving, and then eating this epic raw cookie dough peanut butter cup. And here we go, the finished product. Yeah, so I've just cut myself a slice. I'm going to be eating that just now. Just kidding, I'm going to be eating this whole thing because it's refeed day. So as you see here, the macro is scrolling by the screen. This is our raw cookie dough peanut butter, mother of all peanut butter cups. I think I need to come up with a better name for this. But as you can see, extremely macro friendly. Super awesome, and obviously if you want to make it even more macro friendly, just adjust the serving size to suit. Thanks so much for watching. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I'd love it if you can stay tuned in terms of all of our awesome videos that we'll be pumping out the next coming weeks. And as you can see just within the channel, heaps of killer stuff, all focused on the big bad world that is nutrition, training, mindset, and of course all sorts of good stuff. So please make sure you comment below, make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you next time in the Boss Fitness world. Angus out, and I'm going to be enjoying this lovely little sucker. Catch you later guys.